Wow, we're in 2017, and one of my goals was since I went into this year with a breathing machine that was broken, and yes, very ill. Um, I didn't see a new breathing machine on the horizon, and I'll be honest, I in fact didn't see going to the doctor in the picture view, even though I'm always the one to take, grandma and grandpa to Dr. Michael. I didn't think, okay, he'll focus on me at all. I happened to cough during seeing Dr. Michael last week, and he looked at me and he's like, oh no, that's not going to continue. And so we had a great visit. I also got a brand new breathing machine. January 5th, that actually happened. I kind of had an inkling that it was going south very quickly with this cold. And thank God I did, because I think I saved myself from actually getting the pneumonia. Um, I'll explain that. By the way, this is Blonde Bombshell Belief, B3, the first one of 2017. I missed my little sign. It's nowhere to be found. So we're going to do it this way, and then we're going to do a little bit of singing. I don't want to push it because, as you can tell, even though I'm a little bit better, it's still hanging around. I finished my antibiotics today. Like I said, I had an impromptu visit with a doctor, not really meaning to see the doctor this week, but life surprised me. So far, it's been a year of surprises. I didn't expect a breathing machine so soon. That happened. I didn't expect to see the doctor. That happened. During our visit, which was an impromptu visit, he decided I needed a blood work, and he decided that I needed chest x-ray because he heard a rattling in my chest, and his eyes, I will never forget that look as long as I live, they got extremely big, and he was looking at me and he's like, I just can't believe you haven't been here before now. Here's a funny thing. They couldn't find my blood pressure during this visit. The nurse went over here, and so it was just kind of funny because nobody could find my blood pressure. And when we went to go get the blood work, I looked at the nurse and I said, well, maybe now's a good time to try to find my blood pressure. No doubt we'll find it because I hate needles. She just laughed and she goes, well, I'm going to have no problems because your veins popping right up today. And I thought, oh, please don't tell me that, because they shut off and they roll, and she knows that whole bit. So we have to use the butterfly needle. And it's just not a good thing to go to the doctor for me. Getting an x-ray was really weird. What was even more weird was how during the process he highlighted the areas that was showing the infection, and we had a disagreement on medication. He prescribed me prednisone because he thought I definitely needed that. Now, being a PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome patient myself, I highly avoid those, and especially with my age, because of, I do want kids, and to me, that is a strike in the wrong column. And I already knew that I was sick and not really hungry, but yet I didn't want to have weight, and it was just not a good time to be on steroids. So I made the personal decision to avoid the steroids. Yes, I have the prescription filled in there. I haven't taken one. And the simple reason is, like I said, I want kids myself. So I didn't see a need in that. Dating, that's going to segue over to that, because we all know I went to the doctor, had my x-rays. There was a scare for a blood clot. The doctor was jumping to so many conclusions, he had me scared. But I think that scare tactic was a good thing because it made me take notice that health is something you don't get to dictate terms on. And you can't just say, okay, you know what? I'm not healthy, but yet I'm going to get better on my own. Because you can't magically get better on your own. And I know that contradicts taking the steroids, but you got to understand what that means to me. At my age, yes, I'm going to throw that in there, 39, and me wanting kids, steroids is not an option. So even if this hangs around a little longer and I don't take the magic pills, what matters most to me is I'm looking at the bigger picture. So I took the last of my infection medicine today, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing better. And we're going to move in now to the dating thing. I had no idea on POF that you guys, and I'm sending this out there to all the men, I really hope and I pray that you're not on that site to use it as DTF. Because to me that is so cheap and tacky, and you men have no morals when you message a woman, hey, DTF question mark. Thank God one of my friends actually told me what that stands for. And no, I'm not going to say what that stands for. Just know that it means basically a man thinks a woman is easy. And no woman should be that easy. Or loose as a goose. And I personally think that if that's what you're wanting to date for, why are you even dating? I mean, think about it. You just want something cheap and sleazy. You don't do it that way. That way is a good way to get AIDS, STDs, and maybe an unplanned pregnancy. Is that something you really want? So I ask you men to stop and think before you do something incredibly senseless. I'm trying not to talk too much, even though I feel like a loaded gun. I'm going to be singing some here next, so I hope that you stay tuned for that. The songs that everybody wanted me to sing, like the Whites, Pins and Needles, there's no karaoke for it. And the Jan Howard song, no karaoke for it. So I had to become creative. If you guys watch my Instagram videos, you'll notice that I got not only my lab results back today, which were normal, thank you God, but Grandpa got his Bill Anderson book cover back. The book that I bought him for Christmas was autographed, but it wasn't personalized. So Grandpa made a phone call down to the office there, because he's been friends with him forever and a day. And thank you, Bill Anderson, if you watch this. You autographed it. You sent it back. Whispering Bill Anderson. Sorry. Grandpa's very grateful and over the moon. He goes to the back doctor tomorrow. We're still dealing with trying to get Grandma a wheelchair. That's something I really wasn't ready for, but that came out during the visits to Dr. Michael. Grandma is getting a wheelchair. Now, there's that cough. The wheelchair is only to be used like if she's going out to places that she wants to basically put on the brakes. She doesn't like to go to Cracker Barrel and use the walker. So she doesn't like to go to McDonald's and use the crippled space. She parks way over on one side and makes us cross against traffic in the drive-thru. So Grandpa was borrowing wheelchairs from the VFW. Some of the quality of their wheelchairs, no offense VFW, but the last one we borrowed basically fell apart. So Grandpa was then like, okay, it's time to see if Grandma can get her own wheelchair. So the doctor approved it, and we're dealing with Medicare and everybody trying to get that mess straightened out, and it's terrible. Also, just put some prayers up. Things are going better than what I thought beginning of the year here, but it could always be better. So put some prayers up there. Hopefully things will definitely improve all the way around. We're hoping that when Grandpa goes sees the doctor tomorrow, we know there's no quick fix for his back, but he's already had like where they cut the nerves off, but I remember them saying something about that they might grow back. So I'm hoping that if that happens, we don't have to look at another surgery, especially at his age. Also, just put some prayers in that this cold goes away quickly. This has been an ongoing thing since Thanksgiving. You all know it. You've watched me on here. Hack, hack, cough, cough. Sniffle, sniffle. But hopefully it gets better. Other than that, I don't really want to say too much. So I've given my speeches. And I'm so thrilled for Kurt Angle going into the Hall of Fame of WWE. I have to touch on this. Our Olympic gold medalist, thank you for doing that, WWE. However, WWE, I hope that you do not forget about the ones that have passed from 2016 that deserves to go into the WWE Hall of Fame. Remember that. Country music. I'm not going so far to any concerts this year. No, nothing big there. On my bucket list, this was a question I wanted to answer. Somebody asked me, what are the top things on your bucket list? To see and meet Chris Young. I would say to go to a WWE event that's being aired, either Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, where it's on TV. I've never been to one of those. Horseback riding. I would love to do horseback riding. Siegel, Illinois has a coyote ranch, I believe that's what it's called. I think it would be so cool to like get a whole bunch of people together, a bunch of us tenderfoot city slickers, and go riding horses. I think that would be so much fun. Um, I think that's basically all I would say on my, well, of course, WrestleMania, but that's never going to happen. I want to definitely go to a po folks again. I would say marriage, honeymoon, po folks, but I don't know at this point if I'm going to be that blessed. Um, will I be making videos for Valentine's Day? Yes. In fact, my Valentine's Day, I've already got plans. Mr. Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, and I will be watching. I'll be watching them on SmackDown. Also, there's a new Hallmark movie at the same time. Hallmark Channel. Get a clue. You're not going to interrupt my Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles time. No, thank you. Then, of course, my workout will follow with Mr. Hunka Muffin Chris Young. Oh, fan me. Well, stay tuned. I'm going to sing for you all next.